It's the news, so it's important. Listen to the report, nah.
Now, the presenters of Top Gear have come under fire again, this time from the comedian Steve Coogan, a frequent guest on their show, for their anti-Mexican jokes on last week's edition of the programme. In a strongly worded article in the Observer newspaper, Coogan says the comments by Jeremy Clarkson, Richard Hammond and James May were misjudged and about as funny as a cold sweat followed by shooting pains down the left arm. Coogan was responding after the Mexican ambassador to the UK made a complaint to the BBC. Here's James Blake.
Why would you want a Mexican car?
It started as a chat about a sports car, but it prompted the Mexican ambassador to complain of outrageous, vulgar and inexcusable insults.
Mexican car's just going to be a lazy, feckless, flatulent overload. Leaning against a fence asleep, looking at a cactus with a blanket with a hole in the middle on as a coat.
I wouldn't feel upset if someone gave...
But now a former guest on the show, the comedian Steve Coogan, who often attracts controversy himself, has launched an attack on the Top Gear presenters. Writing in The Observer, he says, with Top Gear it is three rich, middle-aged men laughing at poor Mexicans, and said their comedy was lazy, feckless and flatulent.
They can't do food, the Mexicans, can they? Because it's all like sick with cheese on it.
And today other comedians have waded into the mire.
We should look at whether they've done good comedy or bad comedy, whether it's dangerous comedy as in dangerous it supports prejudice, or whether it's dangerous comedy as in challenges prejudice. And the best comedy is comedy that makes us question. If you look at Partridge or David Brent, what they're doing is similar jokes. You can imagine David Brent doing the Mexican jokes, but at the same time there's a framework where they're saying, are you right to laugh at this? And with the Top Gear people, there seems to be no framework. There seems to be just a casual, blokey, let's laugh at it. And I think that's what's lazy about it.
Did anyone see Top Gear the other day? There was a rant about Mexicans that Richard Hammond made.
Tiffany Stevenson is a leading light in London's stand-up circuit. Today she was testing material for a new routine.
The three of those, when you look at them, you go, you've pretty much only seen culture inside of a yoghurt pot.
Just imagine waking up and remembering you're Mexican.
That'd be brilliant. That'd be brilliant because you could just go straight back to sleep again.
The worst part of it was when he said, imagine waking up in the morning and being Mexican. I thought, wow, you know, if you replace that with various other words like Palestinian or Israeli, you know, people would be losing their minds. And I think we've taken a bit of an attitude that because it's Mexicans, it's far enough away or not in the news or not topical, that actually it doesn't really matter.
So this growing backlash against the Top Gear presenters hasn't come from the area you might expect, not the Equalities Commission, but other comedians. The Equality and Human Rights Commission said it won't take a stand because it won't police schoolboy humour.
You're not bothered about what he said particularly? I am bothered about what he says because I think it's juvenile, it's vulgar, it's unacceptable. But that's for broadcasters and columnists to argue about. It's not for the law. We need to deal with more serious things.
Jeremy Clarkson has made an apology of sorts in his column in The Sun, but then accused the Mexicans of being humourless. On his website, Richard Hammond writes, if we really have upset anyone, if they really feel I was expressing a genuinely held view that I believe Mexico to be populated by blokes in big hats and moustaches, then I am very sorry.
The
BBC has also apologised to the Mexican ambassador, saying the comments were mischievous, but with no vindictiveness behind them.
FBI, open up! It's not a bloody funny matter if they're sending Dora Explorer, you know, what killed bloody Tomb Raider off, you know, Laura Croft. It's serious. Moving on. Next thing, bloody weather, isn't it?